Well, it's time to show you one of the things I've been working on. Hey guys, welcome back to techgooch. And this is one of those videos that I'm really excited to show you. And yeah, this is the Magneto Board, which is an electric skateboard. Now this is the box, obviously, and that's the board. Throw that down there. So, Magneto Board is like a lot of other electric skateboards out there. It's an electric longboard. And there are other shorter skateboards, and there are a whole bunch of companies out there that make these. This is just happens to be one that I was working with the company on to do a review on. They graciously allowed me to do this review on one of their boards, and I honestly had been rigorously testing it for about the last week. Yeah, two and a half weeks. And I have my conclusion so far. I think I'm actually going to be doing another video on this board later when I get more time on it and more refresh cycles on it. But to start with, I am not a skateboarder. I do not skateboard. I really have never skateboarded, and this is coming from an absolute noob. Now, what I have done, I am a snowboarder. I've snowboarded quite a bit, so I know how to snowboard, and I am a unicyclist, so I can find my balance pretty fast. I guess is maybe the best way to why I say that. But with this board, I have not fallen on it yet. And I immediately took to it. It actually feels quite similar to snowboarding. It's probably the best way to put it. Now, my daughters, who have also ridden it, they are, well, now 8 and 11. But she's just about to turn 9. The other one's just going to be turning 12. So to give you an idea, at least of the age of my kids that have been using it as well, and they're not ones that take to it as fast as I did. But I think we went down the sidewalk, 1/10 of a mile, and back. Me holding their hand while they're on it, and me controlling the electrics. And the second time, I did not hold their hand. I still controlled it, and they did pretty darn good. They've been down and back probably 4 or 5 times total, and I do not have to help them anymore. I still control it because I'm not quite ready to give them full capability of the power. But that's just on my sidewalk, nowhere, nothing fancy, quick and easy. I, however, have been doing it on the. I've done it on the sidewalk, but I definitely prefer the road. The road bed's a lot smoother than a sidewalk where you get those bumps, and obviously you don't have to worry about people. You have to worry more about cars. I definitely recommend wearing a helmet, and I do. But let me get into the actual unit itself. First, they do give you a charger for it, which plugs in, and I can show you that here in a minute. There is the remote that is forward and back, basically forward and then brake, and then you hit this button down here and it'll go reverse and brake. So you don't have to get off the board if you need to turn around or whatever. Yeah, take that for what it is worth. This does is a rechargeable remote. Does come in this little bag. This is the little tool that they give you, which is basically a truck tool with a Allen key and a Phillips as well. All the tools you need for that. And then they also give you this little USB cable, which is actually designed to plug into the remote so you can charge the remote up. So they do give you that. It is a micro USB, and I'm sure that there are many micro USB cables that you have that you could probably get to work with that. So if you lose this, it's not a big deal. Charger, you could probably get a replacement of this as well, so not a huge deal. And of course, truck key. These are just simple tools. Just they give them to you so you don't have to worry about going out and buying something. Now, I have not done any adjustments on it because I'm not a skateboarder. I don't know how I should have these the trucks adjusted properly. And when I first got the board, it was very stiff. I had a hard time turning. Like I said, I'm a snowboarder, so I'm trying to carve more with it. And for better or worse, it took probably a good 5 miles of riding before I got it down a little better, but also I think the truck started loosening up just from use. And of course, like any skateboard, you do have those adjustments down here to tighten or loosen the truck so you can turn easier. Now, Magneto is different than like say Boosted Board. This is not a really flexible deck at all. They have their battery and speed controller all in this nice aluminum housing, so it is water resistant. So even on wet roads, you're good. Big 90 millimeter wheels, which is larger than most of the competition, including like Boosted. Hub motor's not belt driven, so that's definitely different than some of them out there. The nice thing about doing the hub motors is efficiency of the motor itself, but also the fact that they use that hub motor as a braking method. So without all of those belts, the motor's there, you're just using an electric motor. So it's pretty nice, actually. The neat thing is the braking capacity of this guy. You're looking at about, they claim 10 miles of use. I have actually been getting probably slightly more than that. But most of the stuff I've been doing is on flat ground. So not substantially hilly, definitely some hills. I did do a hill test on this because they claim 15% grade. Some of the other competition can actually go up steeper. I do wish that this was more in the 20 to 25% grade, and I'm definitely looking forward to maybe a version 2 of this board being able to do that. But 15% is actually pretty steep, and it does pretty darn good on some 10 to 15% grade hills. It actually does pretty good. When you get to that 20 to 25, which we have a lot of hills in Dubuque area here that are pretty darn steep, you do have to get off and kick. Now, what I found, and I'll show you a video of that, is, it's, for me, coming from, I'm not used to doing that because I'm not a skateboarder, I'm a snowboarder, and you only do that off the lift. So I'm still getting used to the whole kicking, but you can also get off and walk and just use this to allow the skateboard to go up the hill by itself. Because pushing 190 pounds is different than pushing just its own weight. So let me show you some ride videos that I've taken, and then we'll continue from there. Let's see how she goes. How we doing? Hi. We're gonna find out how well this brake fares. It's a steep trail. And I'm really wondering how well we'll come back up it, to be honest, more than anything else. But this is even though a novice as I am, having a full brake, it's going plenty good. If I let go, obviously I fly. This is where she does a big S-turn. Now, of course, this isn't actually a brake, it's just running the motor polarity in reverse, so it's braking me, but it's not actually a brake pad I'm heating up, although I'm sure the motors are heating up because of it. And that's the steep part right there. I'm really interested to see how well we come up with this. I'm actually still going to this chart after this trail. That is the steepest section of the entire trail. It goes down the entire way, and of course I'm going to go down. I don't know if I'll go down to the bottom or not, and come all the way back up. Maybe I should. A solid 6 miles with this board. First time I got it, so that's easy. Go back again. That's cheap. Now that I'm just where I zero do this, and I don't like using it, so I'm going to materials. I'm going to have I have to using it. I'm going to go this. I'm going to go down. I'm going to be fast. But I have to go down. And acorns and all the other stuff that I've kind of ran over. Oh, dead bird. And I have never actually really felt any kind of pushback too much at all, so I'm impressed by that. Alright, so we are at the end of this part of the trail. I'm going to go ahead and turn around and get reset. And we're off. No start, I didn't push to start, I just went. We're starting at the bottom of the hill, working our way up. I am also tracking how far the trail goes, so I want to see how big it actually is. See if I can get an elevation gauge out that distance as well out of it. This is a steep part right here at the end, which is definitely taxing it. And if I was good, I would push with my foot. But I'm not good yet. Maybe I should try it. It's hard to do with all the stuff in my hands though, you know? Because, well, I'm trying to film this, and I'm still a noob. Hold on. Hey, I'm using this big reset out. All the others is to do it. That's why it's unlocked. Which company will you go to? Get off the accelerator when you do it. That's what I've just learned. Alright. A couple pushes. And feet. How do you beat this? Where's my goose? Go. What's that doing? I'm in minutes, babies. Oh. Yeah, there's no. This next hour, 5% up. Whoa, see, I'm not good yet. You just get yourself over those little humps. And this is the section that there's no way that it's going to do any of this. Or very limited of it. Which, we'll see how good I am. Maybe this will help me learn how to kick better. And how to turn better. The other way to go up a hill is to just let the skateboard go up the hill without you. You gotta turn it every so often, but then you can walk it until I get better at it. Because it's got more than enough power by itself. Just not enough for an extra 190 pounds. So, there we go. Hill test is over with. Functioned fine. Now I'm back on the flats, which is more its territory. Slight hills, flats, downs, does just fine with. Cruise is pretty good. I've gotten it up to about 17. That's about as far as I've gotten it. And that's on a flat, not on downhill, on a flat. I'm a lot more comfortable on it now than I used to be, that's for sure. So, 2 thumbs up, if I can show you my thumbs, but Magneto, you did an awesome job on this board, if I can say anything. So I think once the motors get more efficient, and we get more power, then I can see steeper hills becoming available. And in my hometown here in Dubuque, it is all about hills. Hills, hills, hills. So I gotta hand it to them though. They made a fantastic board. It's so much fun. So hope you enjoyed that, but this, like I said, this is the battery pack. Everything's beneath this big piece of aluminum here. The deck itself is actually I think this, they say a 7-ply maple deck, and then of course they say Canadian maple deck. But as you can see here, it actually is wrapped in a carbon fiber. So that carbon fiber, I think they called it a 3K carbon fiber. That's to give it basically some toughness to it. Wood, like wood, needs to be a little toughened a little bit, and that's what that carbon fiber is for. You still get the flex of a very similar wood deck, and then the carbon fiber strengthens it up a little bit. Magneto obviously puts on their, like I said, their hub motor wheels, which basically you have that nice large 90mm wheel. It's about the right size in my opinion. I don't think they need to make these too much bigger or anything, because rolling over even decent potholes and stuff, I was able to do just fine. Like I said, I've not actually taken a spill with it yet. So that said, I'm happy about that. On the bottom down here, this is where the charger plugs in. And if this is the one thing I wish that they would maybe make that a little bit easier to get into, because you kind of got to finagle your hands down in there to plug the charger in. So you kind of do this. I'm trying to do this while you're able to see it. But it just plugs in like that. And then you can plug that in when you're done. Down here's the power button. You click on that, and then the lights will come on. It's actually probably about half a charge right now, not quite 3/4 like it's saying. But that said, that'll tell you how much battery. There's 4 lights up here: 25, 50, 75, 100% battery life. And then you just push it again. Battery lights go out. You know it's good to go. You're good and off. If I have it on, I'll flip it upside down so the wheels don't make the deck go flying. With the remote here, there's a power switch here, and all I do is, and then brake. So, and then you can see the brake works forward, or if I go to reverse, it goes the other way. And in reverse, you can see that that red light comes on and lets you know that you're in reverse mode, and then just the green flashing. So that's how she works. Not a whole lot to say in that department. So that is the Magneto Revolution Electric Skateboard. 10 miles on a charge, up to 20 miles an hour. I've gotten it between 17 and 18. That's as fast as I've gotten it. But I think it's obviously going to depend on what you're carrying with you, where you're going, the terrain. Lots of things kind of go in there. And of course, I'm going off GPS, just estimating my speed. So they're not too far off, or they're probably fairly accurate to that 20 miles an hour. If you go downhill, you can definitely go faster, but by law, an electric thing without doing licensing and things like that, you can't go faster than 20 miles an hour. So 20 miles an hour. It's awesome. It really is. This is one of those things, they call it the last mile. You know, you can take public transportation, use this to get to your destination within that last mile, or negate the transportation, driving yourself or bus or whatever, and just take this. It saves you a lot of money in the end. Retail on this is $6.99. And the other thing I did want to mention is how much ground height there is. There's a lot of ground clearance on this. They did a really good job. It does not flex a crazy amount like some of the other boards out there. The stiffness of this makes it a little bit safer at that higher speed. It's definitely what they're going by. And to be honest about it, I would agree with that wholeheartedly, just based on my experience with it. It's a great board. It feels good, even traveling at the 15 plus miles an hour. But that is the Revolution. Like I said, $6.99 regular. I think right now they have it on sale. I will put links below. If you have any questions on this guy at all, please let me know. I will be making a secondary video of this. I will post that down below and put a card up as soon as I get that up. It's going to be a little while because I want to get some more time on this board first. You know, yeah, I can do a couple of recharge cycles and I have an idea, But I'll have more of an idea when I actually do more maybe commuting with it. Actually using it for what its intended purpose is. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it a try, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I definitely want to have probably another couple weeks on it before I do that, because I want to be very, very, very comfortable with it when I do that. And I'm pretty comfortable with it now, to be honest. But I'm still getting used to it. And just recently when I did, actually today, did the video of going up the hill and I was kicking, well, that's new to me. So I want to get that down too. So thanks to Magneto for sending this over. And I'm trying to do this as unbiased as possible. Do I recommend this to anybody? I really do, especially if you're just looking for something that's different than like the hoverboards out there. This makes more sense to me, way more sense to me than a hoverboard does, and it almost makes more sense than like an electric scooter. So you can kind of go over one or the other. I think these are awesome, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for these. And Magneto, you made a fantastic board. Now these are actually assembled in the U.S. Not all made, of course not. They're made from parts all over the world, but they are assembled here in the United States. So really good job, really good grip tape job, to be honest. I don't know if I showed you guys that at all. This thing's awesome. It really is. And for $6.99, or the sale price right now, I think right now it's going for like $5.49. So if you're looking and you're interested in one of these, grab on that link, head down there, check it out. If you have any questions for me, let me know. Post it below. Head over to the techgooch.com. You can actually reach me directly over there. And if you're just looking at various electric skateboards, look into them, because there are differences between them, and not one is the king. I understand that everybody wants to compare it to one specific brand. They're expensive, by the way. This is a pretty cool one, and definitely works really good at high speed. So check it out. Again, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have anything else for me, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you here for another future video review. Thanks for stopping by, guys.